Good morning, sir. Firstly, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to discuss how my qualifications could add value to you and your team. And secondly, I would also like to thank you for taking up some time to explain me some concepts which were honestly very insightful and helpful. So I would like to briefly talk about my key learnings from the interview. Firstly, the one of the major concept that I learned was how assets and their prices tend to depend on the economic cycle. In the start of so during the early expansion, we see equities tend to rally because of growth expectations and liquidity increasing in the market. Then as growth as economic grows, industrial demand also increases, and demand for industrial metals like copper, zinc, platinum also tend to increase. Uh, as the cycle tend to grow more, inflation increases, and we tend to see precious metals like gold and silver tend to perform better as people tend to invest in it to hedge against inflation. So this is how there is a cycle in which the asset classes tend to flow and the prices tend to depend. Next thing that I learned was a silver case study where an investor bought silver at rupees 3,35,000 and later the prices fell at 2,25,000. So what should be his next move? From my understanding, he should definitely not panic. Uh, Silver is a very volatile asset. Its prices tend to rise very quickly and fall very quickly. So it is very important that investors investing in this asset class need to be a little strong while investing. They should not panic quickly as there are short-term fall in prices of silver. So he should not panic and sell, rather than he should keep his investment intact. Maybe he could rebalance his portfolio in terms of silver. If the prices so since the prices have fallen so low, which is 2,25,000, he could also buy more silver to hedge against inflation, as it is a very volatile asset, and we could expect prices to increase enormously in the future. So what is the main understanding is short term price falls in securities like silver does not mean that your investment in silver is bad. You just need to reassess the whole economic situation, economic dynamics, and understand that whether your investment in silver is fits properly according to your investment mandate or not. So if you are planning to take a particular amount of risk, and if it exceeds that, then only you should reassess, then only you should plan to sell it. Otherwise you should stay invested and wait for the recovery. Also, you should not make any decisions emotionally, out of your emotions or out of your emotional biases. Rather than you should stay rational, because metals like silver, you will tend to experience falls and rise like this. Next thing was the fundamentals that I see before investing in a stock. So before investing in a stock, I firstly try to understand the business model. What are the revenue drivers? How is company earning profit? What is the major source of revenue for the company, and how relevant it is in today's economic situation. I also try to see some financials, maybe read some con calls. What are the plans of the company? How long does the how does the company perceives its growth to be? And try to see its financials. What are the revenue growth, margins over the past 5 to 6 years, and ratios like return on equity, return on asset, return on capital employed, PE. Also, I like to see some just go through some equity research reports to understand how research firms what do research firms feel about that company, like what do they recommend. Next thing is we talked about the RSI strategy. So how does RSI work? So normally there is an overbought and oversold level. When the RSI tends to move above the mean and almost touching the overbought level, then it is very expected that the prices are gonna fall and some red candles are gonna form in the market that we can expect. And this is where you need to stay very alert, and as soon as the prices start falling, maybe you should rebalance your portfolio. Also, when the RSI crosses the mean below and almost is touching oversold session, it means that the prices have fallen to a very large level, and maybe some green candles can be formed in the next sessions, and demand coming towards that stock. Also, lastly, we talked about the IT sector, outlook on the IT sector. So we saw how IT sector's stock prices have fallen in the past 5 to 6 sessions, and it all came from Anthropic coming into the picture and introducing Claude AI. So from that, investors have become more alert, and they feel the threat that is coming from the AI disrupting traditional IT services and IT solutions. So my short-term outlook is that definitely Indian IT sector is gonna see some dip. It has already saw the dip, but there will be some negative there could be some downfall that we could see in the stock prices in the short term. But in long term, my outlook is that if IT companies tend to shift their traditional IT services and solutions towards AI driven solution, and are able to maximize their profit through AI, and are able to gain the confidence of the market, then we could see some changes in the market sentiment towards the IT sector. Because now companies are coming up with innovative AI solutions. So it is very important for companies like Infosys, TCS, Wipro to also innovate in that area. And we already are seeing some of the investments coming from Adani. So they are planning to do around $100 billion investment in AI data centers by 2035. Even TCS is planning to increase their data center capacity to 1 gigawatt, and which will take about, I think, $6.5 billion by 2031. So companies are planning to expand their AI data centers, but that won't be enough, because they will also have to uplift their financials because of AI. Like, the AI will be the next has already become the next upcoming thing, but now investors want to have that level of confidence from these companies. So for long term, if companies are able to shift towards AI driven solutions, and and their financials also show that they are less dependent on traditional solutions, then maybe we could see some change in the IT sector outlook. Thank you.